actually just on an open today, and I have drawn peg 1 on Willows. The flyers continue. So then Ryan's been round, giving me all info of where to fish. Cheers for that, Ryan. Fished it once before and done alright off it, but hopefully we'll catch a few today. It was hard just today, but today's another day. It's warmed up a bit. See how we get on. Just a quick look at peg. So it is on a point, it's peg 1. Sticks out into the lake a bit. Plenty of options, deep water and shallow water. Right, so it's all in now. Obviously I haven't shown you the cupping in part because we had a technical error again. Like I say, when filming these live matches it can be a bit difficult sometimes, but I'll give you a quick run through. I'm starting on my short line, just flicking a few maggots. And I've got one in front of me here and one round to right. I'm just going to flick maggots on both of them. Just at the start, just give me lines 10-15 minutes to settle. And then I've got 2 lines long at 14.5, where I'm going to flip maggots over as well. Ground bait that I have been using is dark F1 on fatches, and I get quite a lot of messages about this. And as it gets colder, I cut out the amount of fatches I put in. So at the minute I'm putting 2 pints or 2 parts dark F1 to 1 part fatches. And then as it gets colder, I just cut out the fatches, which is the fish meal. And right in middle of winter, probably January, February time, if we've had a lot of frosts, I'll just fish dark F1. I have got a line down to my left to end of this bush with casters as well, just in case there's any perch or out down there. You can catch odd one every now and then. Just keep it simple. Flick maggots and see how we get on. Just had a little indication then. Flicking. Not the size that we want in this. Might be a little bit early for this line, but it's not going to do me other lines any harm. So I'll just have another go on this and then probably go out long to me 14.5 metre line. Fishing single maggot. Let me rig in, hold on to it. Flip my maggots over the top. So at the start I've literally just fed a few maggots here and then just loose fed over the top. I haven't put any ground bait on these short lines, just a long line. And there we go. Another little roach. Get this one in. Leave it there and then I'll go and have a look on my long lines. Gonna go out now on that 14.5 metre line. I've been flicking a few maggots. Hopefully there's a bit of a better stamp out here and I get a run of fish. We'll see how we get on. Just lay that rig in, hold on to it. So I'll still keep flicking my maggots short as well as long, just because I might get a good run of fish there later on. And none of my rigs are really fancy, to be honest. I get a few questions, people asking about them. So these are just F1 maggots. Just either 4x12s, 4x14s. Oh, there we go. That's a nice start on this line. Feels like it's a bit better than them that we caught on short line as well. There we go. Lovely fish, that one. Stocky these. As I was saying, rigs that I use, 4x12s, 4x14s, F1 maggots. Brilliant for this sort of game, fishing maggots through the water, even bulk and droppers. There's no hide in this lake, so main target are roach and skimmers. Obviously there's some big perch as well, but they're few and far between. You can drop on and have a go for them, but you're not always guaranteed, where roach usually play ball. Same with skimmers, you can drop on them and catch a few, but sometimes they're a little bit hard to target, whereas if you're catching roach you might catch the odd one in between. Just keep laying that. Feeding them casters down the edge. Lay my rig in. So I've found the same depth as well, so I've got 2 lines at 40.5, so I can literally just move from one to the other, get a few bites off one, move back to other, and just keep alternating lines, keep getting bites. So Adam's actually drawn, oh, there we go, I've got another one. So he's drawn peg 3, so I can see him from where I am. So I can literally see most of the people. Seems a little bit quiet at the moment, so just keep putting fish in my net. So Adam did have a really good start, to be honest. I saw him catch quite a few roach on the long line, but it seemed to have slowed a little bit now as I've started catching. There's odd fish being caught. I know them in shallows, sort of to my right and behind me, 10, 11, 12. They haven't really had much yet, but that's the sort of area where once it milds up, it's hard to beat there, but when it's cold, the fish just drop down and don't tend to go up there, so it's hit and miss. And that's a little fish on this line. Be good if I can get 2 lines working. Just keep dropping on. Hopefully they get a bit bigger, but don't seem to be much happening anyway at the minute. I do love these silverfish matches this time of year. Look forward to them every year and they never disappoint, to be honest. If you go fishing for carp or even F1s to a certain extent this time of year, you can more or less just go and play bingo because you know where they're all going to be held up. Whereas there's at least 60%, I'd even say 70% at pegs that you draw on these matches, you've got a chance of framing from. There's only a handful which you wouldn't really want, which is how it should be really. I like it like that. Them that seem to be consistent, it doesn't really matter where they sit, they'll still catch fish. It's obviously, which is nice. I just keep laying that rig in, flicking maggots over the top. Not forgetting about that short line. I will have a drop on that later on. But whenever I'm catching a few fish, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. It's not hectic, but looking around, not much is happening fast, so whenever I can get some bites, I'm not going far wrong. Right, so I'll catch this one more. There we go. It's like it knew it needed to come now. I'll catch this one, and then I'm going to end it there and just get my head down for a bit and put some fish in the net while they're biting. There we go. They're not massive, but they all count. I've just picked up my shallow rig now, started getting odd funny indication. Missing odd bite. So I've just come a bit shallower. Just started catching odd fish. Still feeding 2 lines. And that short line as well. It's not hectic by any means, but catching fish still, which is always a start. You can see they're not that bad stamp either, which is a bonus. So I just keep laying the rig in like I do when I'm fishing full depth. It's just obviously about half depth instead. Flick maggots over the top. There we go. A few there now. Both sides in it. Seem to be slightly bigger than what I was catching on bottom. Just keep laying that rig in. There we go. Missed a bite then. So we're probably just over halfway now. 3 hours in. Oh, there we go. And I reckon I've got 10 to 12 poundish. Something like that. Plodding away. But I can't see much else being caught, to be honest. Oh, there we go, a little one. Coming towards the back end at match now, and I've just started to catch odd bigger fish. Obviously it's just time of day, that sun's just going behind them trees a bit. I've got another one on now. But these fish can really boost your weight up. Decent stamp roach they are. And like I say, I've not changed anything, it's literally just the time of day. We get a bit more confident, move in and we nab them. Just got to take my time a bit with this one. There we go. Lovely roaches. Just fishing a nice light rig. So this is actually a chanty, 4x10 this one. And strung out. Just keep laying it in, flicking maggots over the top on my 2 lines, just alternate them. But whenever I'm catching or getting bites on one, I'll stay on it as long as I can, and then on my other line, once this one dies a bit or I start missing a few bites, I'll drop on that and it usually goes under. That's that one. I'll still keep feeding that short line, but whenever I'm catching on this long line, I'll just stay catching. If it does go quiet on both, then I'll have a drop short and see if I catch out. But looking round, there we go, got one now. It's still not that much being caught, so whenever I'm putting fish in net, I'll be doing alright. Let's say they're not bad fish, these. Getting plenty of bites anyway, which is the main. You can see Adam's still catching odd one over there. He keeps getting decent spells. And then, I know one of the guys had a little tench count in these matches, just carp and F1s don't count. But he's had a tench, it's quite cute, it's only £1.5 fish. A big perch as well. There we go. I've had a couple of tench out of this lake, only little ones, but non-during match. I've caught pleasuring before. But like I say, there's some big perch in these lakes as well. Little roach. Another one in the net. Didn't even have the maggot, didn't that one? Straight back out. No messing. Been one of them days today, lots of bites. Kept me busy, kept me warm. I think I even had a sweat on at one point. Just keep them fish coming. Obviously some days a bit more difficult, but there we go. It's quite a nice day today for it. Keep active. All of your active fish are active, so that's why I like to see it. That didn't quite go to plan, but we got there. I'm just going to catch one more, I think, then turn it off and keep plodding on. Missed that one. Lay my rig back in. Missed that one as well. I'm gonna move on to my other line in a minute, I think. Missed a couple of bites. I get a smaller stamp one now as well, that's a definite. There we go. Pull this back, get this one in. And I'm gonna go and have a look on the other line, I think. Not bad size. So we're just going into the last half hour, 40 minutes or so now. And I've had to actually push out to 16 metres. So bites started going iffy on both lines. So I've just pushed past where I was. It's sometimes been quite good in that last half hour. I won't like to do it all day without having to. But yeah, pushed out to 16 metres and I've caught a couple of better fish. Reckon I'm around 17 poundish a minute, 16, 17 pound at a guess. I'm not very good at guessing, but I usually have it there or thereabouts. And then we've got, like I say, we've got about half hour left. I'll be feeling it in the morning after fishing 16 metres all day, but sometimes needs must. There's fish to be caught. Keep flicking maggots in, exactly the same as what I wore at 14.5. Just some bigger fish sometimes hang off the back. Just keep laying that rig in. You can see it's not quite as good as what it was before when I was fishing 14.5 metres. But there's still a bit of time yet. All I need is a quick run of fish. There we go, and it'll boost me up. So I'm just gonna get this one in, I think. End video there, and then just flick away for the next 25 minutes or so, whatever's left. And then we'll see how we get on. I'll catch up with you when I get home. Had a lovely day's fishing though, plenty of bites. I've got a double ship when I'm fishing 16 metres as well, so I've got to break down and then get the fishing. A bit of a pain, but we'll do it. Not a bad fish, so I'm going to end it there. And then I'll catch up with you when I get home. So, back home now, guys, and I've had a lovely day's fishing, to be honest with you. Been a bit hard that last hour or so. Pushed out 16 metres and caught the odd better fish. But most of the day, just got my head down catching fish, as you've seen. And to be honest, like I say, a lovely day's fishing. I've ended up with £18.12, which were enough to win lake, so quite surprising. Managed to spank Adam. He was on peg 3 and he's had £15 odds for second on lake. So it's always nice to get one over on him. And then I've been 4th overall as well. So I needed £19 something to be third. So I could have done that. It's one of them. It's always tight matches up here. It's only little margins that make a difference. But won lake, so I'm happy with that. Couldn't have done much better. And to be honest, I'm on a bit of a roll at the minute. So I'm enjoying life. It's one of them. Last 7 matches I've fished, picked up 6 times. If this continues all winter, I'm not going to complain. So back up there, probably at weekend or midweek, and then back up following weekend. As I say, love it up there at minute. Catching plenty of fish, always plenty of bites to be had. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers, guys.